Kyle here with GoFit Physical Therapy, and I'm going to show you one of my favorite exercises for runners and track athletes. Honestly, this exercise could be used for any athlete, but particularly for runners and track athletes, I find this really helpful. This is all about being able to access hip internal rotation and to be able to control the hip internal rotation with our external rotators and our glute max. All right, so what we want to do is we take a band, we set it up about waist height, and the forward foot is going to be the leg that we're working here. So we want to have the foot point pretty much straight to where the attachment point of the band is. And so your band's actually going to be at a bit of an angle. The key here is the position of this knee. When we're doing this motion, we really don't want to see the knee go in or out. We want to see that knee tracks, right? If we put a little mark in the middle of the knee, we want to see that knee tracks straight down the middle of the foot, okay? So what we're going to do is slight bend in the knee. We're going to let the pelvis kind of collapse fully on this hip here. Okay, so we're getting hip internal rotation here. Then we're going to use the glute max, this muscle back here, to rotate our body back away from the hip. Slowly come back to internal rotation, rotate it back again. We want our foot to be completely flat, equal contact between the toes. We want to really isolate, get that mind-muscle connection going between that glute max here. So you're going to take if you're an endurance athlete, if you're doing long distance running, you want to do a lighter resistance, higher repetitions. If you're more of a sprinter, you want to load it up, higher resistance, lower repetitions. If you're an athlete that does a combination, do a combination of those things. Now, the benefit of this is a lot of track athletes have a hard time accessing the posterior, the second half of their gait cycle. They end up cutting the gait cycle short. They end up running more with their hip flexors, trying to pull them forward, than their posterior chain, trying to push them forward. By utilizing this exercise, we can access the glute max to get our hip, to allow our hip to internally rotate a little bit more so that we can use that posterior chain to propel us forward when we're running. It's a great exercise. I'm going to come up with some other exercises specifically for runners and track athletes to help you guys get the most out of your training.